Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. My name's Michelle. I'm joined today with Jessica and 23 of our penguins. Now, this is their lunchtime normally, but you can see that I'm not getting really inundated with many takers, and that's because they're finishing up in different stages of their molt. So over here we have Matson, and he pretty much just finished molt, and so they're still living off that 1 to 2 kilos of weight that they gained to get ready for their molt. Now, right in the front, in the far left, my far left, that is Avery, and you can see how large Avery is. Hun, can I have your hand stay on that side? Thank you. Now, they need to do this because they go through what's known as a catastrophic molt, and that means that instead of some birds who lose 1 or 2 feathers throughout a long period of time, these guys lose all their feathers all at once, and it's about a scan of time about 7 days to 2 weeks, and then they grow their new feathers in. So you can see right up here, this is Robbie. He's starting to get those new feathers in, and you can see over here that Shim and whatever just finished her molt, but Shim is the one that's kind of itching himself right now. He's actually getting those new feathers in, and it is quite itchy, so he relies on his mate to help him out with that. Those penguins that do not have mates kind of ask us to help, and that's why you see Admiral underneath my legs. He has deemed that we are the ones that help to scratch him, so he actually likes to either stay underneath or on top of my lap. It's his choice. Good boy. Now, you might wonder what we're feeding him. We get a mixture of herring and capelin, but during the molt time, once they gain all that weight and they gorge themselves before they go into molt, then they pretty much shut down. And so we have a lot of penguins that just don't want to eat. Now, Avery has been turning up his nose at herring for the last 4 or 5 days. If we think we need to give him some fluids, we will give him fluids. But out in the wild, these animals would just kind of sit up on a beach and wait for this process to be over. Luckily, it only happens once a year, so they don't have to deal with it very often. But sorry, let me get Astaire real quick. Astaire was one of the ones that we that went through his molt first, so he's back to eating. Good job. Well, hi, Paddles. No, you don't like that one? What about that one? What about this one? What about that one? You want to take it? No? Feeding a penguin is a lot like feeding a 3-year-old. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they throw the food back at you. So we all just kind of work around that. This is one of our juveniles. Purple just got one. And you'll notice that he looks a little different when he turns around. He doesn't have that distinctive double black band, and that's the way you can tell a juvenile penguin from an adult penguin. Well, somebody can take it. No? Nobody? And you can see that he doesn't have that double black band going down his chest, and that's one way you can tell a juvenile. So we actually have 3 juveniles. We have 2 in the water, 1 up here, and they actually are, he's a male and those 2 are females. Now, Green, are you going to eat that one? Nope. Green is actually the one that is up for the adoption, name through adoption. Gat's got one. Where at the $100 level or higher, you can adopt a penguin. I'm sorry, but they stay here with us. But you can adopt it and put the name that you think you want your penguin to be named. And we are actually going to be choosing a name from that list at the end of this month. And once we choose that name, if that name is the one that you submitted, you will actually come in and meet all of our penguins. So how cool is that? So, you see, now, we're lucky, and we know we're lucky because we're in here all the time, but this is actually a nice quiet season. Once they start getting ready, there's different phases that the penguins go through. After this, it's going to go into migratory season, and that's when you're going to see the penguins doing a lot of swimming. They'll be rarely up on deck, and for the most part, they'll come up only to feed and will spend most of the time in the water. After that, they're going to be getting ready for breeding season. That's where you'll start hearing a lot of braying. These are cousins of the jackass penguins, so they sound quite a bit alike. These animals are actually much larger than the African penguins by quite a bit. Hi, sweetie. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Let's have you go out a little bit. But they are quite loud, and when you have a beach load of penguins all braying at the same time, it's a few decibels, to put it mildly. Now, one of the things we always like to do is point out that our youngsters actually get that size very quickly. These animals were hatched in May, and you can see just how large they are. They're pretty much the same size as their adult counterparts. The only difference, like I said before, is that double black band. Now, it looks like we are not going to get any takers for lunch today. And I worked so hard on this bucket. Now, everything they get is restaurant quality. So if you wanted to eat herring and capelin, you could. It's not a favorite of mine, so I choose not to. But this is all restaurant quality. They also get vitamins in the morning, because since we do freeze our fish to make sure that there's no bacteria content, it does lose some nutrients. And so we give them vitamins to offset that. But at this time, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I would like to say thank you all for coming to the aquarium, because your admission does help us take care of all of our animals. So for myself, Jessica, and our 23 penguins, we hope you enjoy your day here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we hope to see you again real soon.